morning to you from the stable of Immaculate Television. My name is Maria Moni, and welcome to another exciting episode of the platform. And since the advent of COVID-19, we've been experiencing a lot of things, and it makes people to be more aware of their environment and to be grateful for the little things that we take for granted. Now, it's all about our mental health since there is a lot of altercation here and there, and there are a lot of rape cases and domestic violence and domestic abuse happening all around us, and that is why we have a mental health physician in the house. You know, whatsoever it is that is happening, the state of affairs of the nation is what we discuss on the platform. So I'm just going to go for this short, quick commercial break, then I'll be right back. You're welcome back. It's still the platform on Immaculate Television. My name is Maria Moni one more time. And I have a mental health physician this morning. And what we were discussing this morning is about mental health and sex. You know, we've seen a lot of things that is happening around here and there. The only news that is trending in Nigeria presently, and most especially in Oyo State, Nigeria, is about rape cases here and there. And as a concerned citizen, we at Immaculate Television, we want people to be aware of this, and that is why we have a very passionate woman that is so passionate about mental health issues, and she's also an educator, and she's a mental health physician, a certified one. You're welcome, ma. Dr. Adetong Faloye. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Okay, ma. And you know, in case you've been following me back to back since all this while, you would have noticed that she's an in-house. This is not the first time that she has been here, and she's here to educate us more. Now, my first question is this, ma. Is there any relation between mental health and sex?
Thank you very much. Yes, there is a relationship, and the relationship is in different ways.
Okay.
One of the relationships between mental health and sex is that sex can increase or give a sense of enhanced mental well-being. How do I mean?
Okay.
When sex occurs between two consenting adults, what you will observe is that it enhances a sense of intimacy, of connectedness, and of acceptance. And then the experience of sex itself also gives pleasure if it is with consent. Now, that's what I mean.
Okay, ma'am.
Consensual sex gives pleasure, and that sense of pleasure can temporarily give a sense of good mental well-being. The other way that sex and mental health is related is that there are mental health problems that part of their manifestations is with sexual issues. For example, depression. In a lot of people who have depression, one of the things we observe is called low libido, reduced libido. That means reduced interest in sex. So one of the pointers in depression, one of the symptoms of depression is reduced libido, which is reduced sex drive, reduced interest in sex. Another way in which sex and mental health are related is also that in some mental disorders, people can actually become hypersexual. Like they have increased libido. So they are more interested in having sex, and for their partners, it might really be overwhelming. By the time somebody wants to have sexual relationships 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, every day, and doesn't get tired.
Yeah.
That's a symptom in some mental disorder. I'm not saying that alone it is a symptom,
Okay.
but it can occur in the context of a mental disorder like mania, and so many others. Yes.
Okay.
So
Thank you
those are
so
some
very
of the ways
much.
in which, and then there are disorders too. Let me quickly add, in some elderly people that will make them to engage in improper sexual relationship with somebody younger. Example is what we call dementia. You find an elderly person, elderly man, 60 years and above, having sexual relationship with a 2-year-old girl. Sometimes it occurs in the context of a mental illness, which we call dementia. It is not always. I mean, sometimes. So that people will not begin to say that each time somebody elderly engages
yes, in
sexual
sexual
abuse
abuse.
of
Yeah.
a young child, then it must be that the person is mentally ill. Not always, but sometimes it is a reason.
Okay, so a lot of people believe that there is, if you are, most rape cases, most people that rapes, that's a rapist, that most of them are not mentally sound, that more than average are not okay. That means abnormality in mental health issues.
I won't agree to that. I won't agree to that. It is a possibility, but that's not always the case. There are lots of individuals who are rapists and they do not have mental health problems. That's the truth.
Okay, so a normal sane human being can actually rape.
Oh, yes, and without the person having mental health challenge. Yes, there are people that, I'll give you an example. There are people who have personality problems. And then, because of their personality problems, they may believe that they cannot approach a woman and that the woman will voluntarily accept
Yes, sexual advances.
their sexual advances and think that they have to take it forcefully. That's one. Another set might be people who there are those we call sadists, and this is a word that people use wrongly. When we talk about sadism in mental health issues, it actually refers to individuals who derive pleasure, sexual pleasure, by inflicting pain on another person. And there is no way a rape would occur that there is no pain. That, you know, when a pain occurs, when rape occurs, rape is having sexual knowledge of a person, whether penetrative or non-penetrative, of a person without their consent. And it could be the anus, the vagina, or the oral region. So, and there is no way somebody will rape another person and will not inflict pain, because the person is not doing it voluntarily. And for you to be able to do it to that person, you either beat the person, you will injure the person, you will inflict some level of pain. That's why there are people who are truly sadists, and they will go ahead and rape, because the way they derive their sexual pleasure is through the pain that somebody else experiences, through the pain they inflict on somebody else during sex, that they get their own pleasure.
Okay, some married women, some married men has come out of recent to talk about to say that they are being raped by their spouse, and in this part of the world, most people do not believe that kind of a thing. That why would you rape your partner? That your partner cannot be raped because they have a right to your body, whenever, most especially when it comes to the woman being the woman in the house. So you have to respect your husband. You have to accept your husband's sexual advances anytime, any day that he wants it. Smart, can you please clarify that? That is it possible for a woman in marriage to get raped?
Well, to be honest, marital rape does occur, but there's a challenge. Our law does not recognize marital rape.
Legally, right now.
Legally, in Nigeria,
Wow.
marital rape is not recognized. Rape is recognized, but not marital rape. But we have had women who have said that, or even men, I mean, so that it will not seem like we're being biased now, who have said that their spouses raped them because the sexual experience they had in that marriage at some point was involuntary. It was not without their consent. So if truly even and all of these claims about your husband or your wife has right to your body, yes, fine, but it should be something that should be done willingly, voluntarily. The fact of rape, let us be clear. When we say a rape has occurred, it means that one of the parties involved in that sexual engagement was not willing.
Okay.
Was not willing. So even though it is a marital relationship, if at that point your partner says, I'm not into this, I'm not ready, and then you go ahead and have it against their wish, it should be considered marital rape. But let's not also forget that I have said earlier
No, there is
that
no law.
legally
There is
it
no
is
law
not
against it.
recognized
Wow.
in Nigeria.
Nigeria presently.
Yes.
Thank you so very much.
A warrior is a woman, woman. A savior is a woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman. A savior is a woman, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. When a man will cry, a woman smiles. Her shoes have walked 1,000 miles. The sticks of stone can break her bones. She welcomes all her friends and foes. When her spirit's down, she has no time to frown. A warrior is a woman. A warrior is a woman. A savior is a woman. A warrior is a woman. A savior is a woman. Bountiful, wonderful is her frame of mind. Beautiful, colorful, style is one of a kind. Her womanhood and her motherhood are her strength and pride. Her warmth and grace she cannot hide. The wonders of a woman. A warrior is a woman. A savior is a woman. A warrior is a woman.
If you're just joining us, it's still the platform on Immaculate Television. My name is Maria Muni, and I have been talking with Dr. Adetong Faloye, a mental health physician, about sex and mental health. You know, COVID-19 has helped us a lot, because even if you're not aware of a lot of things that is happening all around, this advent of COVID-19 has made us realize a lot of things. Now, the main reason why we're talking about this one more time is because there has been a skyrocket issues year and year about this domestic violence, rape issues, and that is the reason why we are discussing this. And so far so good, she has been able to explain to us that even when you're married, you can also be raped. Rape is just inflicting pain on others or having sex with another person, whether penetration or non-penetration kind of rape is still rape without the consent of the other party that is involved in the sexual engagement. So my next question is this. We've heard about a lot of pedophilias. People, even if you are not a rapist, people believe that women are the ones that are instigating rape. Some quarters believe that women are the ones that are instigating rape. But now, if a young lady maybe now is well developed, has the normal necessary things that a woman should have, and maybe that person is the one that instigated the rape, what about a baby, like 2-year-old, 2 months, 7 months, all those things? We're talking about pedophilia right now. What I'm trying to say in essence is just that a pedophile is a pedophile okay mentally? That's my question.
Okay, so before I answer that, I think it's important to understand that nobody instigates rape. All of those people who talk about the way somebody dressed, the way somebody did, and that's why the person was raped, it was where she went to, it's not acceptable.
Yes.
It's not acceptable. So all of those are excuses, and they are not acceptable even in law. So that somebody dressed somehow, okay, if truly it was that the dress instigated the person to rape, did you have the sex in the open field where everybody could see you? If you were smart enough to realize that you have to corner the girl, you have to see the person to some place and have your way, So that's on one side. So there can never be a
Exactly.
justification.
For rape.
I am not supporting indecent dressing. That's a
Yeah.
different subject. It's a different issue. So we
Yeah.
shouldn't bring it as a reason for,
For
rape.
rape.
Now, concerning pedophilia, the truth is, as we speak today, to the best of my knowledge, in what we use to diagnose mental disorders, the guideline we use, which we call ICD-10, pedophilia is still a mental disorder. Pedophilia is still
a mental disorder, considering your procedures to
Yeah,
justify.
considering the guideline we
Okay.
use. And yeah, so if there's somebody that is a pedophile and it is against the law, because I think the age of consent in Nigeria is 14, I think, from
Why 14?
it shouldn't be, because think about the 14-year-old girl that you know.
Like-
Is that person old enough to give consent
To
sex?
sex.
So we should understand these issues, and that's one of the things we really need to. If the age for voting is 18, why
Yeah.
should be the age for consent for sex be
Sex
14?
is 14.
So you can see
Wow.
that there are irregularities in these issues, but we'll get there. I mean, people are advocating, and we would get there. But we do know that pedophilia is an illness. But in the context of this country, you have carnal knowledge of somebody less than 14 years. The person is not. This one is not about consent. Say that the girl said yes. As long as that girl or that individual is less than 14 years, you have committed a crime.
Okay, that's enlightened. Okay, so a pedophilia is considering the guidelines that are outlined by the Mental Health Organization.
But by the World Health Organization, actually,
A pedophilia is a mental health disorder.
it is. But it's also
Okay.
a crime
It is also a crime.
at the same time.
It is not only a mental health disorder, but also a crime. Okay, thank you so very much for that clarification. Now, now let's talk about the victims here.
Okay.
Okay, now we've talked about pedophiles and pedophilia and everything. What I'm trying to say in essence is just that a baby that was raped. Now, take for instance a 7-year-old that was raped. In a way, he or she can still remember, even while growing up.
Oh, definitely. A lot of them do.
Exactly. So, to what extent is this mental health damage on a victim, most especially the young ones? I'm talking about
Somebody that it happened to when
yes,
they were children.
When we were children.
Oh, great. Fine. Excellent question. Now, to be honest, the outcome will differ. The mental health effect differs from one child to the other. And it also depends on the extent for some people. For some people, it was more like, for some people, it will be like a faint memory for them. They may not be able to remember it very clearly.
Like the brain
So
might suppress it.
it may not become a major issue for them as they
Okay.
grow older. But for some people, it's actually very damaging. And then
Okay.
it also depends on the extent of there's also the factor of the extent of injury that girl suffers, or that boy suffers from that experience. I mean physical injury. There are people who are sexually abused by older men as children, and they mess up their entire that part of the body.
Oh, the private part.
Yes, the vaginal area. And that's something that they have to treat. I have
have
a
to
girl
live
that
with.
they have to live with. And then that's a major issue for that girl by the time she grows up to become a woman and wants to get married, if the damage is bad. Now, for some of them, if they are older, they may have what we call, I don't know, they may end up, because I've seen teenagers, maybe not necessarily somebody 7-year-old, a teenager,
Okay.
who after some time developed major mental health issues. Of course, we are not saying it is the rape that caused the major mental health issue, but it is a strong risk factor, and a lot of research has shown that people who experienced sexual abuse as children have an increased risk of depression. Yes, post-traumatic stress disorder, and even others more severe mental health challenges. So it is not one thing that happens. There are those that may be able to overcome it easily. There are those who have to live with it. And then even the mental health challenges, there are those that happen immediately. Shame,
Yes.
fear, guilt, anger, low self-esteem, how many do we want to talk about? Before we now even start talking about the major ones like the post-traumatic stress disorders, like the depression, like the psychosis that may develop. You know, don't forget I said it is not that the rape causes
the major mental health issue.
But it can be a strong risk factor. But the shame, the sadness, the low self-esteem that usually follows for some children, particularly the adolescents, I mean, it is usually as a result of, directly as a result of that rape experience. Right.
Thank you so very much, madam. I know she's passionate about women, and that is one of the major things. That's why we are bringing her here, because she's advocating for no to rape. And I'll just go for this short commercial.
There are a lot of false information about the coronavirus. These are the facts. People of all ages can be affected by the coronavirus. However, older people and people with pre-existing medical conditions such as asthma, diabetes, heart diseases are more vulnerable to the disease. It is not for old people alone. Gargling salt and warm water or chewing garlic and ginger cannot prevent the virus. Drinking alcohol, hot lemon, palm oil or chloroquine will not kill the virus. The virus cannot be transmitted through mosquito bites. Antibiotics do not work against the viruses. Antibiotics work only against bacteria. Boiling pineapple peels, lime and ginger does not kill the virus. Putting raw onions in rooms will not ward off the virus. Using or spraying Dettol, special oils, and water all over your body cannot kill the virus. There is no scientific evidence that cooking, drinking, or eating any of these is an effective treatment for coronavirus. Do not self-medicate and take responsibility by sharing only verified messages from health authorities such as NCDC, Federal Ministry of Health, and WHO.
You're welcome back. It's still the platform on Immaculate Television, and I've been discussing with Dr. Adetun Faloye, a mental health physician, and we have been talking about sex, rape, and mental health issues. You know, it's actually something that we really need to talk about. And she explained extensively the reason why pedophilia is considered as a mental health disorder, and so also being it a crime. And she explained also to us that legally the age for a consensual sex starting from age 14 in Nigeria presently, but there has been a lot of ongoing issues that people have been raising here and there so that this law can actually be reformed. Thank you so very much, Dr. Adetun. And now my final question for the day is about an adult. Okay, I'm just going to say the story, like give you a right scenario. A woman that's a married woman that has been in her husband's house and was raped by the hand robber that came to their house. And at the end of the day, she lost self-esteem, lost her husband, and got divorced, and a lot of things happened on the way. How much damage can rape cause? Now, those are the physical things that we can see, and we are like sympathizing with her because she has to lose her marriage, lose her self-esteem, and every other thing like that. To what extent? Because at the end of the day, a lot of rape victims, most especially in India, they commit suicide because of the stigmatization that happens in their own country. And considering our culture and tradition here in Nigeria, what is the extent of the damage, I mean mental health wise, that rape can actually cause for an adult?
Wow, thank you for the question. Just for, like I said, with the children, we can separate the mental health damage that rape that can cause into immediate, medium term, and long term. The immediate include things like shame, guilt, loss of self-esteem, devastation, a sense of being defiled. Sometimes survivors, we like to call them survivors, blame themselves for being raped.
Beautiful.
You're welcome back.
Psychosis. Some of them have difficulty forming intimate relationships, and that's aside the fact that they may also have other physical health issues, like they can contract sexually transmitted diseases, they can contract HIV/AIDS. Some people even get pregnant. And you know, when all of those things happen, those ones are a different set of challenges, which can also generate mental health issues. So, the thing is so big. It's not just about somebody slept with somebody. That's denigrating the whole person. A whole person, their individuality is huge. So the mental, and nobody who has ever been raped ever forgets, particularly if it happens to the person as an adult. Then how would they forget that kind of devastating experience? And the fact that that memory is there is enough to mentally torture the survivor. That's why they need help through the journey to heal. Some of them even begin to see themselves as worthless, and then they begin to feel that, well, since somebody has taken it forcefully, I might as well just start
making money out of it, or doing all sorts.
The way people interpret their experiences differs.
Thank you so very much.
It differs, and that's why it is important that all of us, men, women, mothers, sisters, all of us stand to say no to this urge.
Thank you so very much, madam, and that will be a wrap for today on the platform. We have been talking about sex and mental health, and we've talked extensively about rape issues, the rape cases, and Dr. Adetun Faloebi, the passionate woman that wants to that has been creating awareness here and here for people to know about their mental health issues. And she explained to us the reason why this has been it can actually escalate, like the mental health can escalate even much more than what we can see. Talking about post-traumatic stress disorder and so many other things. And if you are just joining us, you can just watch till the end, then you can click back and watch. Make sure you drop your comments, click your like, and whatsoever it is that you need, Immaculate TV is here. Thank you so very much. My name is Miriam Moni. Do have a lovely day.
A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, yeah, yeah. When a man will cry, a woman smiles. Her shoes have walked 1,000 miles. The sticks of stone can break her bones. She welcomes all her friends and foes. When her spirit's down, she has no time to frown. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior